My beloved child, the heavens are trembling tonight and your name is glowing brighter than fire. You may think you arrived here casually, but the Spirit says this moment was arranged long before you were born. This is not noise. This is not coincidence. This is a divine interruption meant to stop you where you are and awaken something that has been sleeping inside you. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold, not as a threat, but as a guardian, holding a scroll sealed by God's own authority, waiting for your attention. Do not turn away lightly, because attention unlocks revelation. Michael says the scroll does not open by force, fear, or curiosity, but by awareness. Heaven responds when the heart stays open. That quiet pull you feel, the reason you are still reading, is not pressure. It is recognition. Your spirit remembers something your mind forgot. This moment was written into your destiny, and your presence here confirms it. Hear this clearly, because justice is moving in your favor. Those who tried to silence you believed whispers were enough to stop your rise. They built quiet traps of jealousy and doubt, but God declares those weapons weightless. What was aimed to weaken you is dissolving. The resistance you felt was never proof of failure, it was evidence of value. Heaven does not defend what is insignificant. Pay attention to what is shifting inside you right now. That sudden tightening in your chest, the stillness around you, the heightened awareness, these are not emotional reactions. They are signals. Michael says a door is opening that cannot be sealed again, and doors like this do not open often. They open when alignment is complete. Understand why angels are surrounding you in this moment. This is not spectacle. It is positioning. When heaven prepares movement, protection comes first. Michael commands order where chaos once tried to rule. Nothing meant for you will be intercepted. Nothing written for you will be delayed. Listen deeper, because exposure is approaching. God says the pain you carried quietly, the betrayal you endured without explanation, the silence you learned to survive, it is reaching its conclusion. What was hidden is rising into light. What was whispered will no longer control the narrative. Truth is louder than secrecy, and tonight it begins to speak. This is not coincidence, and it is not imagination. Michael says heaven placed this message in your path because something was withheld from you. A truth connected to your blessing, a veil drawn by someone close, a delay that was intentional. That veil is thinning. Plans formed in darkness cannot survive illumination. Notice the pattern in your life, because it explains everything. You asked why betrayal follows generosity, why loyalty was answered with distance. God answers plainly. Your light exposes what others hide. They did not hate you, they feared what your presence revealed about them. But fear has no authority here anymore. Stay grounded, because the next phase requires clarity. These words are not rushing you, they are steadying you. Gates in the unseen respond to understanding, not panic. Michael says you are standing at the edge of fulfillment, and edges require stillness, not haste. Be aware of the confirmations around you. You may notice silence growing where noise once lived, or a calm replacing pressure. These are not accidents. Heaven moves quietly before it moves openly. An angel has already stepped into your environment, shifting what could not be shifted by effort. Receive this promise without comparison or doubt. God says you were overlooked when you walked alone, misunderstood when you had nothing to prove yourself with. But remembrance is coming. Honor is not arriving because you demanded it, but because timing has matured. Your story is changing tone. Understand the nature of the opposition you faced. You were attacked not because you were weak, but because your assignment carries weight. Darkness studies futures. Resistance formed early because potential was visible long before you recognized it. Even signs are now aligning to confirm your protection. Michael says repeated impressions, numbers, dreams, and inner nudges are not random. They are communication. Heaven does not shout unnecessarily, it repeats intentionally. When you notice patterns, do not dismiss them. They are markers on your path forward. Breathe slowly and recognize what is happening within you. That release, that lightness, that sense of grounding is not imagination. Burdens are loosening. Chains are breaking quietly. Deliverance does not always announce itself loudly, sometimes it settles gently and stays. God speaks now with certainty and care. He says the years that felt stolen are not lost. Time bends in His hands. Restoration is not repetition, it is completion. What returns will come wiser, fuller, and stronger than what left. Do not fear exposure, because it works in your favor. Someone has spoken your name with envy, and it created resistance you could not explain. But heaven declares the reversal is active. What was intended to trap you will dissolve under its own weight. You will walk forward untouched. Pause here and let understanding settle. This is not entertainment. It is alignment. The reason you are still present is because something within you knows this moment matters. Heaven does not rush clarity. It reveals it when the heart is ready. Close your eyes briefly and notice the peace that remains. That peace is not emotional comfort, it is confirmation. You are seen. You are protected. You are not late. What is unfolding now cannot be undone. And as this message completes its work within you, remember this gently. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Beloved, the reason the valley felt unbearable is because only chosen ones are trusted with terrain this deep, and Michael says you were never meant to die there but to pass through crowned with authority. Hear this clearly now, the weight you carried was proof of your calling, not evidence of your weakness, and heaven allowed the pressure only because what is about to be released through you requires a soul that has been refined by fire and not broken by it. Child of destiny, the air around you is shifting again because another decree has just been spoken, and this one concerns your future steps. God says, I am not only removing what was heavy, I am redirecting your path, and suddenly the confusion you lived with will begin to dissolve, because clarity is a reward reserved for those who endured without quitting even when answers were delayed. Beloved one, Michael steps closer now and his voice lowers with intensity, saying the season where you question yourself is closing, and the season where others will question how you rose is beginning. The same people who doubted your direction will soon ask how you found favor so quickly, but they will not know the nights you survived or the battles fought on your behalf while you slept. Child, understand this truth deeply. Exposure is not coming to shame you, it is coming to free you, and when the hidden intentions around you are revealed, do not grieve what falls away because what leaves was never aligned with where God is taking you next. Michael declares that separation is protection, not punishment, and heaven always removes what cannot go forward. Beloved soul, God is touching the places you never speak about, the moments you replay in silence, the questions you never voiced out loud, and He says, I saw when you kept going with a cracked heart, and I counted every step, and because of that endurance, restoration will not come partially but fully, reaching even the places you assumed would never heal. Listen carefully now because the next shift is internal before it becomes visible, and peace will begin to settle where anxiety once ruled, not because circumstances suddenly change, but because heaven is re-establishing order inside you. Michael says this calm is not temporary, it is the sign that warfare is lifting and authority is being restored to you. Beloved child, there is a moment approaching where you will look back and realize that delays were not denials but alignments, and the timing that frustrated you was actually mercy protecting the outcome. God says, had I answered sooner, you would not have been ready to hold what I prepared, and now readiness has met promise. Hear this, the strength you thought you lost was never gone, it was hidden, preserved for this hour, and the confidence that returns to you will not be loud or arrogant but unshakable, the kind that does not need validation because it is rooted in truth rather than approval. Michael now lifts his sword again, not to fight, but to seal, declaring that cycles of exhaustion are ending and rest is being authorized. You will begin to notice that what once drained you no longer has access, conversations will feel lighter, decisions clearer, and your spirit steadier, because the battle that consumed your energy is no longer yours to fight. Beloved, God is reminding you that your story is still being written, and the chapter you are entering will contradict everything that tried to define you by pain. He says, you will not be remembered for what broke you but for what you built after surviving it, and those who only knew your struggle will soon witness your stability. Child of light, do not rush the unfolding, because acceleration does not mean chaos, and what is coming will arrive with peace as its confirmation. Michael warns gently that impatience can tempt you to grab what looks close but is not aligned, so stay attentive, because the right door will not require you to shrink, rush, or compromise who you are. Beloved one, heaven is also restoring your voice, and where you once stayed silent to keep peace, you will now speak with wisdom that carries weight. Your words will heal, correct, and open doors, not because of volume but because truth will rest on them. God says, I am placing you among those who carry light without needing to announce it, and your presence alone will begin to change rooms, shift atmospheres, and calm storms, because authority has been established quietly but firmly. Michael steps back slightly now, signaling that the heaviest part has passed, and he assures you that what follows will feel unfamiliar at first, not because it is wrong, but because peace can feel strange when you are used to pressure. Let yourself adjust to stability, let yourself breathe without waiting for impact. Beloved child, receive this final truth for this moment, you were never late, never overlooked, never abandoned, and everything you endured has positioned you precisely where heaven intended you to stand now. The ground beneath you is steady, the covering above you is secure, and the path ahead is opening in sequence, not confusion. And as this word settles, you may notice a quiet certainty replacing the noise, a calm confidence rising without effort, because what has just been spoken was not only heard, it was activated, and the next steps will unfold not by force, but by divine order moving exactly on time. Beloved, the reason this revelation feels intense is because exposure always comes right before elevation, and Michael says heaven never reveals without already preparing replacement. What is about to fall away from your life will not leave a void, it will create space, and that space will be filled faster than you expect. God is not subtracting from you, He is repositioning you for increase. Child of destiny, do not be shaken when clarity arrives suddenly, because clarity is mercy, not loss. Michael says when the mask falls, it is not meant to wound you but to protect you from future harm. What you see will confirm what your spirit sensed all along, and instead of heartbreak, you will feel relief, because truth sets free even when it surprises. Beloved one, heaven is shifting your discernment now. You will no longer second-guess your instincts or apologize for your boundaries. God says, I am sharpening your inner sight, and from this moment forward, you will recognize alignment by peace and misalignment by unrest. Confusion will no longer have authority over your decisions. Child, hear this deeply, the people who tried to slow you down did not understand that resistance only trained you to run stronger. Michael declares that every delay refined your patience, every setback strengthened your wisdom, and every betrayal taught you discernment. Nothing was wasted. Nothing slipped through God's hands. Beloved, there is a change coming in how you carry yourself. You will speak with calm confidence instead of defensiveness, move with intention instead of urgency, and rest without guilt. God says, I am restoring your posture, and when your posture changes, the world responds differently to you. Child of light, heaven is also touching your memory. Old moments that once brought pain will lose their power, and where you once replayed regret, you will now see protection. Michael says some of the hardest moments of your life were divine interventions disguised as disappointment. Beloved, the atmosphere around you is becoming lighter because the assignment against your peace has expired. Sleepless nights will lessen, heavy thoughts will quiet, and your mind will begin to settle. This is not coincidence. It is evidence that the war has shifted away from your inner world. Child, God is also restoring your joy in simple things. Laughter will return unexpectedly. Moments of gratitude will come without effort. You will find yourself smiling without knowing why, because joy is no longer something you chase, it is something that flows naturally again. Beloved one, Michael says you are entering a season where your consistency will speak louder than explanations. You will no longer feel the need to prove yourself or correct every misunderstanding. God will defend you by results, not arguments. Child of destiny, listen carefully, your patience is about to be rewarded. The waiting that tested you is building endurance, and the endurance you carry now will allow you to sustain what is coming without losing yourself. God says, I am not just giving you blessings, I am giving you stability. Beloved, there is a financial shift approaching, but it will come with wisdom, not pressure. Michael warns that you will be presented with choices, and the right ones will come with clarity, not anxiety. Trust the option that brings peace even if it arrives quietly. Child, heaven is also restoring your sense of worth. You will stop measuring yourself by how others treated you and start seeing yourself through God's lens. When this shift happens, relationships will change, opportunities will change, and your expectations will rise naturally. Beloved one, the season of over-explaining is ending. God says, "What I established does not need defense," and you will learn to let silence work on your behalf. Some answers will not come through conversation but through time revealing truth. Child of light, Michael confirms that the next open door will not require force. You will not need to beg, chase, or compromise. It will open smoothly, and you will recognize it by the calm assurance that settles over you when you step toward it. Beloved, the strength returning to you now is different. It is quieter, deeper, and rooted in trust rather than survival. You are no longer fighting to stay afloat, you are learning how to stand firmly on solid ground. Child, God is reminding you that the chapter ahead is not built on pain but on wisdom gained through pain. You will move forward without bitterness, without revenge, and without needing closure from those who wronged you. Closure will come from peace, not apology. Beloved one, the heaviness that once followed you is lifting because your season of refinement is closing. Michael says the fire has done its work. You are no longer being shaped, you are being sent. Child of destiny, what is coming will require courage, but it will not overwhelm you. God says, "I will not place you where I cannot sustain you," and every step forward will be met with provision, clarity, and strength. Beloved, let this settle in your spirit now, you are not behind, you are right on time. Heaven has been precise, intentional, and attentive to every detail of your journey. Nothing arrived late. Nothing arrived early. Everything arrived prepared. Child, as this word completes, allow yourself to breathe without fear of what's next. Michael assures you that you are covered going forward, not just in crisis but in calm. The protection that guarded you in battle will now walk with you in blessing. Beloved one, receive this truth as you move ahead, you are no longer rising out of survival, you are stepping into purpose with clarity, authority, and peace. The season has changed, the weight has lifted, and what unfolds next will confirm everything you have endured was leading here. Beloved, the weakness you feel right now is not failure, it is alignment, because God says the moment you stop relying on your own strength is the moment heaven steps in with power you cannot produce on your own. What feels fragile is actually fertile ground, and miracles do not grow in places of pride, they grow in places of surrender. Child of light, hear this clearly, angels are not circling randomly, they are responding to a command that was issued the moment you stayed instead of walking away. Michael says what was frozen around your finances is thawing, what was held back is being released, and what was delayed is being accelerated. This provision will not arrive through stress or struggle, it will arrive with peace, and you will know instantly that it was not human effort but divine timing. Beloved one, you were never forgotten, not even for a second, and God says your name has been carried through heaven long before it was spoken on earth. Every prayer whispered in exhaustion, every quiet tear shed when no one was watching, every moment you questioned if it was worth continuing, all of it was recorded, weighed, and answered. The response is already moving toward you. Child of destiny, this is a turning point you will remember, because moments like this do not repeat casually. The atmosphere around you is shifting because chains are breaking that you carried longer than you should have. Michael says this is the hour where what was invisible becomes visible, where delay gives way to divine speed, and where answers finally catch up with the questions that haunted you. Beloved, the disappointments you endured were not detours, they were protection, because some doors you cried over would have destroyed you if they had opened. God was redirecting you quietly, preserving you carefully, and positioning you intentionally. Those hidden reasons are surfacing now, and clarity is replacing confusion. Child of light, enemies thought they buried you, but heaven says you were planted, and what grows from burial always rises with greater force. Your growth will shock those who assumed you were finished, because they underestimated what God was doing beneath the surface while you waited in silence. Beloved, the betrayal you felt was real, the whispers were intentional, and the broken promises were not imagined, but the Spirit declares now that masks are falling without your involvement. Truth is arriving suddenly, not gently, and when it does, it will not require explanation, because it will speak for itself. Child of destiny, pause and notice the calm settling in your chest, because that peace is confirmation, not emotion. Angels are active right now, your steps are guarded, and Michael says the storm you see is not a warning, it is evidence that heaven is moving things into place. Beloved one, the silence that once confused you is ending, because heaven does not remain quiet when alignment is complete. Your name has been spoken before the throne, and once a decree is released, circumstances must adjust. Doors you never imagined will open without resistance, and rooms you never thought you belonged in will welcome you naturally. Child of light, unexpected connections are forming, sudden opportunities are aligning, and unplanned conversations will carry answers you were not looking for but desperately needed. Do not question these moments or downplay them, because they are not coincidence, they are movement. Beloved, the Spirit shows a table prepared in your honor, not as revenge, but as restoration. Those who doubted will observe, those who mocked will be silent, and those who misunderstood will witness without access. This is divine reversal, and it arrives without your defense. Child of destiny, every word you receive now is a seed, and seeds only grow in open hearts. Do not close your spirit out of fear or past disappointment. Stay present, because the final confirmations always come when patience holds. Beloved one, the signs you have been seeing are not imagination, and the patterns repeating are not random. 7 continues to circle your path because completion is approaching. Cycles are closing, lessons are ending, and what comes next will not require repetition. Child of light, your tears were counted, your sighs were heard, and your sleepless nights were not wasted. The season of weeping is flipping into a season of joy that does not depend on circumstances. You will laugh again, and this laughter will be strong, steady, and unafraid. Beloved, justice is not absent, it is arriving with precision. The one who plotted in secret will stumble without your involvement. What was whispered in darkness will surface naturally, and you will not need to react, because truth does not need defense. Child of destiny, Michael declares that the pit dug for you was never meant for you, and it has been sealed away from your path. The arrows missed, the poison failed, and what was meant to weaken you strengthened you instead. Survival has awakened strength you did not know you carried. Beloved one, this moment is dangerous for darkness because awareness changes everything. You are no longer moving blindly, you are awakening to who you are and what you carry. God says you are not rising out of desperation anymore, you are rising out of alignment. Child of light, let this settle deeply, you are not late, you are not behind, and you are not lacking. Heaven has been intentional with every step, and what unfolds next will confirm that endurance was preparing you for something sustainable, not temporary. Beloved, breathe without fear now, because the weight has shifted. Michael assures you that the protection that carried you through battle will now walk with you into blessing. What comes next will not break you, it will establish you. Child of destiny, receive this truth as you move forward, you are no longer defined by survival, you are stepping into purpose with clarity, authority, and peace. The season has changed, the resistance has lifted, and what unfolds next will reveal why everything led here. Child of light, hear the answer rising now, because heaven is responding to the question you have carried in silence. You asked, when will it be my turn, and the Spirit answers, it is no longer coming, it has already begun. The shift you sensed was not emotional, it was structural. Something deep has moved into alignment, and once alignment happens, momentum cannot be stopped. Beloved, you are not standing alone in this moment. The light you saw around yourself is not symbolic, it is spiritual authority being revealed. Michael stands beside you not as a visitor, but as a guardian assigned to your rise. The battles you survived were not random trials, they were qualifications. You were being trained in darkness so you could stand steady in light. Child of destiny, understand this clearly, your bloodline felt resistance because it was carrying unfinished business, and heaven chose you to resolve it. Patterns that repeated for generations end where obedience begins, and tonight that line has been drawn. What bound others cannot bind you. What defeated others cannot defeat you. The breaker has arrived, and that breaker is you. Beloved, the exchange you sensed is real. Fear is losing its grip. Delay is releasing its hold. Scarcity is loosening its voice. You are stepping into a season where effort will finally meet favor. What once took years will begin to move in moments, because alignment accelerates everything. Child of light, the revelation coming will not confuse you, it will free you. When truth surfaces, it will not wound you again, it will close the wound completely. The identity of what hurt you will no longer hold power over you, because clarity dissolves fear. Once you know, you will no longer carry questions in your spirit. Beloved, your agreement matters. When you said yes in your heart, heaven responded immediately. Angels move on agreement, not perfection. You did not need to be flawless, you only needed to be willing. And willingness is what unlocked this moment. Child of destiny, the shift you feel is not gradual. It is sudden because heaven operates outside human pacing. Before the next sunrise, something will feel different. A weight will be lighter. A thought will be clearer. A door will feel closer. That is how you will know movement has begun. Beloved, you are the answer to prayers spoken long before you were born. Tears fell from ancestors who never saw freedom, but their cries did not expire. They waited for a carrier strong enough to hold the answer. That carrier is you. Legacy did not choose you lightly. Child of light, the message that arrives will not look dramatic at first, but it will redirect everything. Pay attention to what feels peaceful, not what feels urgent. Heaven confirms through calm, not pressure. When it comes, you will recognize it because it will settle your spirit instead of rushing it. Beloved, the silence around you is full of activity. Promises that lingered are being activated. Scrolls that waited are being opened. Names that were delayed are being called. Michael's declaration is firm, the waiting has expired, and release has begun. Child of destiny, people misjudged you because they measured you by survival instead of purpose. They thought struggle defined you, but struggle was only shaping you. Every storm trained your discernment. Every loss sharpened your vision. You did not break under pressure, you adapted, and that adaptability is strength. Beloved, jealousy followed you because calling announces itself before success does. Some sensed what you carried and reacted out of fear, not hatred. But no reaction can cancel what heaven sealed. Your destiny is locked by authority greater than opinion. Child of light, dreams will now become clearer. Details will sharpen. Patterns will repeat until they are understood. This is not distraction, it is instruction. Heaven speaks in fragments so you learn to listen deeply. What you write down now will make sense soon. Beloved, family truths surfacing will not destroy peace, they will restore it. Exposure is not punishment, it is mercy. Chains only break when light reaches them. And once broken, they cannot be rebuilt. Child of destiny, the physical changes you notice are confirmation. Calm replacing tension. Energy returning. Focus sharpening. These are signs that alignment is not theoretical, it is active. Transformation is not coming, it is occurring. Beloved, separation was necessary. Some connections could not survive where you are going. Their departure was not rejection, it was protection. Crowns are heavy, and not everyone can walk beside someone who carries one. Child of light, new alignment is already forming. Conversations will feel different. Support will arrive without effort. Doors will open without force. This is how you will know you are no longer pushing uphill. Beloved, destiny is not chasing you anymore, it has caught up. Timing has synchronized. Heaven is no longer preparing you for something, it is introducing you to it. Child of destiny, when you look back on this moment, you will recognize it as the point where endurance turned into authority. You did not just survive the fire, you learned how to stand in it without burning. Beloved, receive this truth fully, nothing that was meant for you has been lost, delayed beyond repair, or given to another. It was preserved until you were ready to carry it without breaking. Child of light, this is not the end of a message, it is the beginning of a season. What unfolds next will confirm everything spoken here, step by step, moment by moment, without confusion. Beloved, remain open, remain steady, remain aware. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking forward with heaven aligned behind you and purpose unfolding before you. Beloved, Hear this with clarity because heaven is answering without delay. The season of waiting has officially expired, and what you felt stuck in has already begun to loosen its grip. This is not anticipation anymore, this is activation. As this month moves toward its closing, you will look back and recognize this exact moment as the hinge where everything shifted quietly but decisively. Child of destiny, unseen battles are being fought in your favor even now. Decisions are being redirected. Plans that excluded you are being rewritten. Traps that were set in secret are collapsing under their own weight. Michael declares with authority that victory does not belong to the future, it already belongs to you. Your role is not to strive, but to stand, to remain steady while heaven completes what it started. Beloved, watch carefully because confirmation will come through ordinary things. A phrase spoken casually, a number repeating without effort, a familiar face appearing unexpectedly. These are not coincidences drifting through your day, they are signatures of heaven reminding you that you are seen, remembered, and actively protected. Every private tear you released became evidence in heaven's courtroom, and the ruling has already been made. Child of light, the verdict spoken over you is restoration. The decree is elevation. The outcome is victory that does not require explanation. Those who celebrated while you struggled rejoiced too early. Their laughter has reached its end. A table is being prepared in full view, but the honor reserved at it is yours alone. Beloved, courage will rise inside you suddenly, without warning or logical reason. Your mind may try to question it, but your spirit will recognize it instantly. That courage is not emotional energy, it is a deposit from heaven preparing you for doors that are already unlocking. Walk forward without hesitation because angels are not watching from afar, they are marching with you. Child of destiny, this season carries the mark of suddenness. Sudden clarity, sudden healing, sudden opportunity, sudden restoration. Do not be startled when it unfolds quickly. Suddenness is not chaos, it is the signature of the miraculous. One conversation will arrive that changes everything. A word spoken by someone you did not expect will unlock the next stage of your path. Listen carefully, because that moment will not feel ordinary, it will feel aligned. Beloved, understand this truth deeply. Your scars were never meant to shame you, they were meant to authenticate you. They are proof that you endured and emerged. What once wounded you will now become the very tool that brings healing to others. Your testimony will carry weight, not because it is polished, but because it is real. Child of light, instruction is being released gently but firmly. Do not cling to what is ending. Release it fully. Endings are not loss when heaven initiates them, they are doorways. Holding too tightly to what is closing can blind you to what is opening wide in front of you. Trust the hand that has guided you this far, it has never abandoned you. Beloved, a countdown is active in the spirit. 10 breaths, 10 steps, 10 moments of alignment. Within this divine sequence, the atmosphere around you is being rewritten. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit already recognizes the shift. Something heavy is lifting. Something ancient is breaking apart. Michael stands firm, sword drawn, declaring that the battle concludes here and the victory begins now. Child of destiny, the places that once denied you will soon send for you. The voices that questioned your worth will grow silent. Doors that resisted you will open without effort. This will not be accomplished by your strength, but by heaven's authority. Divine reversal is not theory, it is movement, and it is unfolding around you. Beloved, honor is about to chase you down. A message, a call, or a letter will arrive unexpectedly. At first glance it will seem ordinary, but it will carry extraordinary weight. Do not dismiss it. That moment will serve as confirmation of everything spoken in this hour. Child of light, the Spirit declares that your name is being restored. Where it was dragged through misunderstanding, it is being lifted into clarity. Where it was associated with pain, it is being tied to blessing. Where it was buried under false narratives, it is being stamped with truth. Your name will soon be spoken in rooms you have never entered, and you will not need to introduce yourself. Beloved, the fears you carried are being answered one by one. Fear of loss is giving way to abundance. Fear of rejection is being replaced by favor. Fear of betrayal is dissolving as loyalty finds you. The scales are tipping, the story is flipping, and the outcome is firmly in your favor. Child of destiny, every cycle of delay has reached its expiration. For years it felt as though progress was held back by an invisible resistance. That resistance has been severed. The rope is cut. Acceleration is now your portion. Michael proclaims that what once required years will now unfold in days, and what felt impossible will begin to move with ease. Beloved, look inward and notice what is stirring again. Ideas you abandoned, visions you buried, dreams you thought were over are resurfacing. This is not nostalgia, it is resurrection. What you thought was dead is breathing again. This is the season of second chances, not repeated struggle. Child of light, something urgent is being revealed. There is someone who stood close to you, presenting themselves as protection, but secretly hoping for your fall. Do not be shaken by this unveiling. Exposure is not meant to harm you, it is meant to free you. When the truth becomes visible, you will feel relief, not grief, because clarity always brings peace. Beloved, remain steady and aware. You are not approaching a breakthrough, you are walking inside one. What unfolds next will not require force, it will require trust. Heaven has already moved, and now you are stepping into the evidence of that movement, moment by moment, door by door, without confusion and without fear. Beloved, hear this clearly because the veil has fully lifted now. Their time of pretending has reached its end, and what was hidden behind smiles and silence will no longer remain concealed. When the truth surfaces, do not tremble and do not grieve, because revelation is not sent to wound you, it is sent to free you. Heaven showed you what others could not so that you would not walk one step further carrying deception on your shoulders. Child of destiny, understand this deeply, you were never alone in this fight. Even when you felt isolated, even when your voice shook, angels of war were positioned around you. They did not retreat when pressure increased, they advanced. They guarded what was spoken over you, intercepted what was meant to destroy you, and carried your name through every unseen battlefield until victory was secured. Beloved, This is why the poison never worked, why the trap failed to close, why the attack lost its power halfway through. Defense was already activated before danger arrived. You were shielded long before you understood you needed protection, and that is why your story is no longer hidden, it is being highlighted by design. Child of light, the silence that surrounded you was not abandonment, it was preparation. Now the season shifts from obscurity into visibility, and the world will soon witness what heaven recognized from the beginning. You are chosen, you are marked, and the authority resting on your life cannot be reversed by opinion, opposition, or circumstance. Beloved, pay attention in the coming days because heaven will not leave you guessing. A sign will arrive that carries unmistakable clarity. It may appear through repetition, through unexpected kindness, or through peace that settles without explanation. When it happens, your spirit will recognize it instantly as confirmation that this moment was ordained. Child of destiny, do not miss this instruction. When the stirring rises in your heart, respond. Agreement activates alignment. A simple yes spoken with faith moves more than effort ever could. That yes locks the door behind your past and opens the gate before your future. Beloved, the heavens have already responded. The decree has been issued, the pain has completed its assignment, and the battle has reached its conclusion. Michael lowers his sword not in exhaustion, but in confidence, because survival has turned into authority and endurance has turned into inheritance. Child of light, the life ahead of you will not resemble the chapters you survived. It will reflect the promises written before time began. Heaven is not quiet right now. Movement is taking place beyond what your eyes can see, and your name is attached to what is being released. Beloved, the weight of delay that followed you for years has finally collapsed. Doors that closed without explanation are losing their power, barriers are dissolving, and resistance is retreating. From this point forward, clarity replaces confusion and momentum replaces stagnation. Child of destiny, see this image clearly, a golden key is being placed into your hands. This key is not limited to one opportunity, it grants access to every door that belongs to you. You no longer need to plead for permission or chase validation, access has already been granted and approval has already been sealed. Beloved, those who rejected you will observe in silence as your rise unfolds. Those who whispered will find their voices fading as truth takes the stage. This is not vengeance, it is alignment. The turning has begun, the scales are shifting, and what was delayed is descending into place. Child of light, do not shrink when visibility arrives. This is not arrogance, it is fulfillment. You were not hidden because you were unworthy, you were hidden because timing matters. Now prophecy steps forward and finds its place in your days. Beloved, remain attentive because 3 confirmations will follow you closely. 1 will repeat, 1 will be spoken, and 1 will be felt. These signs are not coincidence. They are fingerprints of heaven reminding you that manifestation has replaced imagination. Child of destiny, lift your head and walk without shame. Fear no longer belongs in your posture, hesitation no longer belongs in your steps. Every chapter of pain is being rewritten as testimony, every scar is becoming a tool of healing, and every loss is transforming into ground where new life rises. Beloved, The enemy tried to narrate your ending too early, but the final line was never theirs to write. Heaven alone authors completion, and the sentence written over you is victory. The page has turned, the dawn has broken, and a new rhythm is already settling into your days. Child of light, you will notice the change even in ordinary moments. Strength will replace exhaustion, clarity will interrupt confusion, and joy will surface where heaviness once lingered. This is not theory and it is not future tense, this is transformation unfolding now. Beloved, alignment is taking shape rapidly. People, places, and moments will begin to connect effortlessly. What once felt scattered will reveal its design, what felt random will expose its order, and what felt wasted will finally show its purpose. Child of destiny, your enemies are restless because they sense their season has ended. Confusion surrounds them now, not you. Their influence is dissolving, their footing is unstable, and their noise no longer carries authority. Beloved, there will be a sudden encounter that seals everything you have heard. Someone unexpected will speak words that strike your spirit with certainty. Do not overlook it. That moment will stand as confirmation that heaven has gone before you. Child of light, receive this final assurance and carry it forward. You are defended, you are remembered, and you are crowned. The battle is finished, the scroll is sealed, and the blessing has already been released into motion.